Brock Purdy, I don't know him real well. He's quiet, keeps to himself, which is really good traits for a rookie. Works really, really hard, serious-minded. That's really all I can say. Demanding of the when he's a quarterback, he's a good leader. I think Trent commented on it yesterday. He's not afraid to, tell the guys in the huddle what he needs. He's a really good guy, really, really. But I don't know him that well. Obviously as the backup or when he started the year as the third quarterback, I don't get to know him that well.
When you put together your portion of the game plan and scheme up against the opposition, does it change with him at quarterback? How you think through the game plan?
Not really. I think that you kind of think you have to give a thought to okay. Jimmy'd been doing this for a long time. Trey had been working through it for a bit and had all the reps as a starter. Maybe if some check with me, some things like that, you might give a second thought, say, we could do that, or we could do this and not do that and just have the play be a call and run play instead. Maybe you do that a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're going to do what it takes to win, and you just have to make a decision between, the whole game plan. That's for Kyle to make the decision as to what might be too much. That's really the only thing that I would have a role with.
You got a fair amount of zero blitz last week. Do you feel like that was a product of Brock coming into the game, and how can it maybe help you guys as an offensive line moving forward?
Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can approach a young quarterback. You could approach it in blitz, and or you could say we'll just stay back and see if he can play and can he sustain long drives. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. I can't say what it was from them. I think there was some feedback that there were maybe a little more pressure because it was Brock, but I don't know that to be true. And so, like I said, each team will approach it differently, and I think you always have to be ready for anything. I think in this offense with Kyle, the one thing working with him through the years has been that I think people are very aware that if he knows what you're doing, he's got such a really good command of the offense and calling the plays in the offense. If he knows what's coming, he'll dial some stuff up to get after you, so that it's always going to be a little bit unexpected. There's always going to be some looks that are unscouted. There's always going to be some things that you're like, oh, wow, that's not something we saw on tape or something we didn't expect. So with Brock, it could open up a whole new can of worms. We'll have to see what happens.
What surprised you the most this week watching him in practice?
Surprised me? Nothing really, because he was very well prepared. So I'd say I don't say that surprised me. Like I said, he's a real pro. He does work hard at it. Nothing really surprised. It's kind of what you expected from him. He's done a really nice job.
Big picture league-wide, scoring is down for the second season in a row, despite the league changing rules to increase scoring. Do you have any theories as to why this might be?
No, I don't. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. Really, seriously, it's a good. I didn't know it was down. No, there's a lot. I don't know. I look at it every week, and I'm real fortunate. The guys that I coach up front, and I joke about it. Very confident during the week. I always feel like we're going to do well. I always have a great deal of positive energy and attitude towards we're going to do good. Here's what we have to do. Here's how we're going to attack them. Then I stand in the tunnel and I watch the defensive linemen run out of the tunnel, and I'm like, oh, how are we going to block these guys? And that's what I go through every week, because the skill on defense, the rushers, how fast they can get to the quarterback, even with the rule changes and everything that's gone on. It's just that NFL pocket closes so quickly. There's such a fine line. There has to be so much precision in route running, protection, backs, everything to be able to execute at a high level. And if there's injuries on your offensive line, if there's injuries to receivers, if there's injury at quarterback, and they're not quite on point, all of a sudden you're a half a tick late and you're not scoring points. Then you compound that when you start moving down the red zone, the field gets tighter. There's a whole lot of other things we could talk. I don't want to talk about them now, but just as far as style of offense, what you play, how you play, how teams are defending these days. Sometimes it's an ebb and flow. There's an ebb and flow of defenses start doing different things. It takes the offenses a couple years to catch up, or vice versa. So I don't have a real good explanation except for what I just said.
What do you think when Vita Vea is running out of the tunnel, and what are the challenges of blocking a guy back?
Say, you want to be the line coach today? I'll come sit and watch from where you sit. No, I'm joking. I think he's a really, really good player. He's talented. He's a big man. He can really push the pocket. He plays the run very well. I've respected him for a long time. He's got a good game. And I say, my job is to try to help those guys inside, Jake, Dan, Spencer, Aaron, they all got to do a good job and be ready to go and understand the challenges and what we have to do to help our guys be successful against them. Because if you spend the whole day one-on-one with Vita Vea, he's a big, talented guy. He's bigger than almost everybody else that plays the game, and he's going to make a difference in the outcome if you let him.
What surprised you the most about Christian McCaffrey?
What about Christian?
Is there anything that has surprised you about him at all?
Christian's awesome. Christian is, I go up to congratulate he and Juice. They're sitting on a cooler after the game, and I go to dap him up and say, "Hey, man, great job, good job, love you guys." And the first thing Christian does is stand up, look me in the eyes, serious as a heart attack, goes, I missed too much today. I promise I'll get better. I missed some holes, and I left too much out there. I won't let you guys down again. Just give me time, be patient with me." And, there's this, I'm like, "Christian, relax, man. We're winning. We won the game. We'll get to work next week and correct our errors." But the dude is serious-minded. He wants to be absolutely perfect in everything he does. He's been like that since he's been here, and I really appreciate that about him.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Gosh, I was wound up today. Thanks, guys.